guys, how's it going? I'm glad that you are back with me again. In this episode or topic, I'm going to try to discuss retirement or early retirement and why I just decided to take that and what benefits there are to it. And also, well, 7 reasons that I have taken it. I just came up with 7 reasons. So we're going to be talking about that. If this isn't your bag, and you're not at retirement age or going through retirement or thinking about retirement, this might not be the video for you that I'm about to talk about. So that's perfectly understandable. You can just, click off now and come on back for my skincare videos or my shopping hauls or anything like that. But, since it has to do, I deal a lot with mental well-being and generally your outlook on life, let's just say. This is one of the journeys that I have started for myself. I have committed and started and made the choice to do early retirement. And since I am going through it now, and it's been a year actually since my last employment, full-time job now, I kind of am getting my foothold in the whole retirement scheme. And so I'm starting to get a little bit of experience on the day-to-day rigmarole of being retired. And I wanted to pass that on to you guys. If you guys are in that age bracket, maybe you're mid to late 50s, coming up on your 60s, or even in your mid-60s, and you have not retired yet, but you're thinking about it. You still have maybe a full-time job, but maybe things aren't going so good. Recession is starting to creep up. People are starting to get laid off, and a certain age bracket tends to be laid off, let's just be honest, more than other age brackets. So if you're in that mode and you're kind of stressing out about, well, should I be doing this? Should I not be doing it? Should I retire? Should I not retire? I'm going to talk about some of the things that I have learned, and we'll get into it. Okay. So I don't have my contacts in. I haven't worn, that's one of the things, I haven't worn my contacts in months now. And, it has its benefits. I like wearing them when I was out to work, but I tend to do my glasses now more than anything. Okay, but we will go to the first, and I'm looking at my notes here off the side if you see me kind of looking. The first one is health issues. So number one, my health issues were starting to bother me. And especially having a full-time job, having to get up very early, having to drive into work. My last few months at my job, I had to actually go into work every day because my job responsibilities changed. I had a desk job, but then it got migrated into more of a physical labor where I was actually put into a warehouse situation. To go up and down aisles and pick products and do much more of that logistics type of work, which for a lady of my age is a lot of work. It is a lot of physical labor. And being kind of out of shape, as most people are sitting behind a desk, you don't tend to be on your feet all day walking around. So that was a lot of work. And I started to think as the months were going by and things were not changing, I was being in that warehouse situation. I was starting to think on myself, okay, how long can I physically do this? How long can I stay on my feet and my back won't hurt, or my back is killing me, or my legs are killing me, my arms are killing me. How long can I literally keep my job? And that was a very scary time because I didn't want to give up my job, but there was a lot of talk on it, and I also had some health issues. So my health issues were extreme fatigue. That was one of the manifestations of, for example, my liver issue. And then I also have this blood condition called essential thrombocythesis. So if you don't follow me, that's one of the things I have. And you can look at the other videos to catch up on that. But without getting into all that, I was on medication. I have to take medication twice a day. When I first started my medication, I had severe bowel adjustments, let's just say, that I had to deal with, and I still had to go to work. I still had to drive to work. I had to deal with it at work. I lived on Pepto for months. I am not kidding you. So when these things were manifesting, my early retirement choices were starting to get up there. I was really, really thinking, hey, I can't continue to do this. I really cannot physically continue to do this. Mentally, I'm all about being with people, and I loved, my job. I loved being with people and everything. But physically, it was very hard for me. So that was one of the reasons, that I chose to do early retirement. Number two, this is just for people that are, our age group. At a certain age, it is hard to get a new job. I knew that this would be my last job. I knew that if I got laid off, which I consequently did, but everybody else did too. So it wasn't like me in particular. But I knew that if I got laid off, it would be harder and harder for me to get a good job, a steady full-time job. Aside from working at a grocery store, bagging groceries, or doing a side hustle, or doing, Uber Eats or anything like that, or getting a gig, I knew that an actual going, interviewing, getting a corporate job, sitting at an office desk at our age would be very hard. It's just the way it is. There is age discrimination. Certain companies want to hire younger recruits because they feel that there's longevity. They can train them. They can build a career with them. And they think, maybe, I don't know, rightly so or wrongly so, although this generation tends to do a lot of job hopping, that these people are going to commit themselves for a number of years, a decade or more, to their job and that company, and they'll be able to train them the way it is. They think that our age group will have a lot more medical issues. Our age group will want to take off more time to be with family. We also have aging parents that we need to take care of on the other side. We're kind of like the sandwich generation. So, we might have more problems than a single person that doesn't have a family to take care of, or young children to take care of as yet, or their parents are not as old yet that warrant them to stay home and take care of them. So the age bias does exist. So again, that was another thing that I was starting to think about. Number three is able to spend more time with family and friends. The traveling, the being home, the meeting up with friends, that's a reality. You give up so much when you're in a full-time job. You just, the time that I gave up with my child as a mom, I'm ashamed to say, is a lot. He was in aftercare. He was in school full time. I didn't really have time to shuttle him around to a lot of, extracurriculum activities. We picked and chose what he was really into, really into, not just forcibly into. So if he really, really wanted tennis, which he was passionate about, I made the commitment to get off early from work and drive him to the games and drive him to the tennis practices and everything. But to be honest, there was a lot of times where I relied on stay-at-home moms that were his friends' moms that were able to carpool my son with their child for tennis practices or tennis tournaments or extracurriculum stuff. There were many a times where I made last minute calls to moms in desperation and said, can you pick up my son from school as well? Can you bring him along with your child to tennis because I can't make it there. And, that's just some of the reality of a working person. So in early retirement, now, of course, my son is much older, so he doesn't need me around, but we're still able to hang out now. We're still able to, go shopping. I'm still able to run errands now. I'm still able to have lunch with him at home or lunch with my husband at home or go out to lunch. There's so much more time for this family now than there was. I mean, I saw my husband when we were both working, we saw each other a half an hour to 45 minutes in the morning. And then when we came home, depending on when we were home, we threw our food down our throats. We were tired as heck. We had maybe an hour, hour and a half for TV and stuff like that. And then we both crashed, and that was a cycle. That was a cycle for decades on end that we were doing. We didn't spend that much time together. And certainly when I did one of the contract works that I did a few years ago, I was putting in overtime as well as the regular 9 to 5. So I was there at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, and I did not leave till about 6:30 or 7 at night. I literally did not see the light of day sometimes in the winter because I would start at night. When the sun was still down, I would drive to work, which was about 40 minutes away. That's when the sun would come up. I would go immediately into a building that had no windows whatsoever. I wouldn't see any light out, which was horrifying. Now that I think about it, I'd work there for about 12 hours. And then I'd get into my car. And by the time I got into my car, the sun was setting. And by the time I drove for about 10, 15 minutes, the sun was completely down from the horizon, and it was dark at night. It was nighttime. And could I cook? No. I would have to bring home something if my husband didn't bring home any food from a fast food place. Then I wouldn't be cooking. I would eat something, whatever I found available. We did not eat together as a family because we were all on different time structures at that time. My husband was already in bed, halfway passed out by the time I got home. So yeah, it wasn't a great lifestyle. So I'm so glad that, that's over with and I can spend more time with my family. So that's number 3. Number 4, puts you in a budget frame of mind. Learn what you really don't need more of in life. And that's so true. When you make a lot of money and when you make substantial amounts of money, it's kind of like easy come, easy go. So what if I have 5 pocketbooks? So what if I buy another pair of shoes? So what if I go out to eat, 3 times every night? Every week. So what if we take more vacations? So what if I buy another electronic device? Oh, my phone is only a year old or a year and a half old, but it's time for an upgrade, because everybody else has an upgrade. So what? So I spend another $800 on my phone. The money seems to just go. It's kind of squandered, which really made me realize that. You also need a lot more when you're working. You need gas money. You need repairs on the car because you're putting in mileage on the car. You need clothing. You can't live in the same pair of shorts and T-shirts and stuff like you do in retirement because people start looking at you. You need to have work clothes. You need to have work shoes. You need to have a certain pocketbook. You need to, do things like that. And so the more you make, the more you spend. With retirement, what I learned was, first of all, I did a lot of purging from my closet. I took a lot of stuff that I knew I really was never going to wear again. Suits and things like that I knew, that's it. My life in suits is over. My life in Docker pants is over. I don't need, 15 pairs of jeans of all colors and textures and styles. I can get away with 2 or 3 for the season when it's colder. I don't need 10 corduroy pants because it's so cold and I'll be outside because I'll be working outdoors. Don't need that because I'm indoors if I want to be. Jackets, I don't need, 5 plush jackets. I can get away with one. There's a lot of things that I just donated or started to clear out of my closet, knowing that I'm just not going to need it anymore. Boots, things like that. And you start to really realize what is uh, your priority. I don't need to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on clothing. I can go to consignment places. I can go to Goodwill. I can go to, Old Navy or H&M and just get a top for, $7 or $8. Um, if I do need one, which I don't. My things that I buy are usually of a good quality that lasts me for years and years. And especially now, if I'm not going to be working, it's going to last even longer. So your mind shifts. It does shift when you're in that retirement mode. It just gears down. Just think of it as it gearing down. You're not go, 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 go. You're not running like the little hamster in the wheel. You're starting to slow it down. And you're starting to prioritize what your needs are. Now, you might start needing other things. Like, for example, for me, I started buying more casual wear because I realized, well, I don't need, jeans or formal attire or anything, but gosh, I don't really have loungewear. I don't have a lot of sweatpants. I don't have a lot of shorts. I don't have a lot of, what else? Yoga pants. I don't have a lot of uh, just little cozy, how do you call this, hoodies or anything like that, because that wasn't the nature. That wasn't what I was wearing or could wear in the environment I was in. Now that I have more time and all I'm doing is going shopping or running an errand or going out for a few hours, yeah, I need shorts or I need a tank top or something else, something that I didn't even think about. So your mindset is completely different. And you do budget and you budget for food too. So as an example, I'm not buying fast food. I'm not going through the drive-through. I had about four or five different restaurants that were on my way home. And I would be really tired. And one of the things I would do is call my husband on the way home. What are you in the mood for? Okay, here's Zaxby's, here's Arby's, here's Panera. I'm just passing by Burger King. Do you want a Subway's? Do you want a Firehouse subs? Do you want a Jimmy John's? What are you in the mood for? And then we discuss it on the phone. And as I was literally driving home, I would stop at that fast food restaurant, go through the drive-through, and pick up the meal for the family. And this was a regular occurrence, I would say about 3 to 4 times a week, because everyone was tired, everyone was exhausted, nobody cared. A couple of times, once a week, we'd have pizza night where nobody would pick up anything. I'd just get home and my husband would put in the order for not Jimmy John's, Papa John's or some other Pizza Hut, and get delivery. Um, and so hundreds of dollars literally would go away each week on fast food, on delivery, on Uber Eats, on Grubhub, because of our exhaustion. Because the last thing I wanted to do is come home and look into the pantry and defrost something or cut up vegetables or do whatever it needed to be done. Even that 15, 20 minutes of prep time plus cooking time was an exhausting experience for both of us to go through. That whole thing about trying to eat healthy and doing what is it called, the fresh market or the blue chef or whatever it's called, where they deliver the food to you and then you prep it and you look at the pretty little pictures on the cards and you try to make the food. That gets old real quick. You buy into that prescription subscription, and you try to be better at it and you try to make more of it, and then you realize, oh my gosh, I am so exhausted. I don't even know what my name is. I cannot be standing here cutting up vegetables or fruit or anything and sauteing stuff. I can't pop things into an oven and bake it for the next 30 minutes. I'm going to fall asleep on the couch, honestly. So Yes, by retiring, by doing early retirement, one of the things that we cut back on is going out, but I eat healthy and I plan and I buy, go out to, Publix or Kroger or whatever the grocery store is. And I ask my husband, what do you want to make tonight? What are you in the mood for? And then we cook it fresh. I can go out at 3 or 2 p.m. and buy the stuff that I need and bring it home and then start cooking at 5 o'clock. Take a little nap at 3:30, and then get out of the bed and then start cooking. Why not? I have the energy for it. I love that about it. Okay. Number 5 would be spend time with a hobby or a passion that you never had enough time to do. There's a lot of things that people put on the side. Some people like to paint. Some people like to take photographs, have a camera. Some people love to golf. Some people like to play tennis or sports or anything like that. Um, I don't really have a major hobby now anymore. I did have a camera thing where I used to love to, obviously take pictures for art and all that. I love to play tennis on the weekends, which, with my health and ongoing issues, I don't really have the energy for all of that. But I love to read. I love to analyze and research things. So if there's a topic of conversation or a historical figure that I'm into, that I've discovered on YouTube or on Netflix or in a documentary or whatever, I love the time that I can sit outdoors, get my Kindle, start reading, start going on the web, start browsing and researching things and figuring out stuff. It's just, I like to dig at things. I like to dig and do things. There are certain things around the house I want to do, real projects as far as fixing up the house. So with the time that I have, I'm learning how to do fixing little things. I mean, I'm not great at it, but I can paint and I know how to use a screwdriver. And like, for example, one of the little things that I've been doing is going around the house. We have regular switches, on the walls, just your regular normal switches. And now I'm not an expert at switching out the switches for rocker switches, which is like a, a boost in your house. Like modern houses have rocker switches, right? So we're actually having a guy come over our house this week, and he's going to be switching out about 6 of them at a time, because that's my budget right now. I can't do the whole house, but the downstairs I'll do. And I'll put some rocker switches on there. But, what I'm going to do is he'll do the rocker switches, and I'm going to do like the white plates, because I want a certain look, like a little cottage white plate with each of them, and make it look really pretty. Little things like that, that I can handle. My son and I put up shelves in our laundry room. So in our laundry room, we have 2 shelves that my father put up 20 years ago, but in a corner. And the main wall where the washer and dryer was just a plain wall. There's no shelving at all to put laundry detergent or cleaning products or anything for storage. And I realized that our house is missing that, and I never really focused on it because I never had time. But I looked at Pinterest, and I looked at some home and garden magazines, and I realized that, okay, laundry rooms are a thing. They are basically upgraded, so people tend to put time in it. They paint the walls nice, and they put up some shelving and little pictures and doodads and cute little sayings and stuff like that. So I got in the mood for that. And long story short, I bought the shelving for about $10 each at Home Depot, which they came in various colors. So they had like a gray shelf, a brown shelf, a black shelf, and a white shelf. And then they came with these really pretty brackets that you put, on the walls underneath it, of course, to, boost up the shelves. So I measured all that. I went to Home Depot. I got the stuff, and I got my son to help, put it up. I would hold it, and he would, drill it into the wall, and there were studs that needed to be found. And it was a cool, mother and son project for about a half an hour or an hour. I didn't have to pay anyone hundreds of dollars to come over and to give me a quote on it and to do it. And I told him, I said, whatever we can handle on our own, whatever we can figure out on our own, if I need to change a doorknob, or I need to, change a wall plate, for electrical switch, or I need to, do something with the deck or anything like that, that we can figure out between the two of us, that we can save money, and it just takes time and labor, then let's try to tackle it, and let's try to get as far as we can in the project. And if we screw something up, or we we just go so far and then can't figure it out, then okay, I'll call someone and we'll fix it up. So that's the mindset for early retirement. You try to do as much as you can on your own. And one of those hobbies are, putting time and effort into your house. All right, so that was 5. 6, moving on. A slower paced lifestyle is best for lower stress. Obviously, my lifestyle has slowed down. I don't have meetings, and I don't have to be on Zoom, and I don't have to have a report done by 5 p.m. end of business, EOB, or COB, close of business. How many times have I seen that on my freaking email? I can't count how many times I saw that. So I love that. I love that, guys, sleeping in, not having to run like the devil out of the house, barely throwing food down my face in the morning, half awake, driving, the stress of that. Oh, I have to take 2 hours off now. I have a dental appointment. Oh my God, now I have to make up that 2 hours. Now I'm going to have to sit at home till 6 or 6:30 to look at my laptop and to look at email to make up my time. I only have 3 days PTO left. What are we going to do? How are we going to do this, or how are we going to do that? If we need to visit a family, if a family emergency comes up, we have to travel somewhere. Oh my God, we have to take PTO. How stressful is that? Now I can go where I need to go and stay as long as I need to stay. My husband works from home, so he has his laptop. If he has to stay, we have to stay somewhere. If there's, God forbid, an emergency or something comes up where we have to be somewhere, we can do it. We can drive for a half a day. We can stay an extra day. The only thing that stops us is our budget. Like I'm not going to go to a 5-star hotel and be somewhere for 2 weeks because I can. I'm not going to do that. We usually stay with family, but at least I have the time. I'm not in a hurry. Okay, so that's number 6. And then the last one, number 7, is able to focus better on aging parents' needs or grandchildren with special needs. So depending on your circumstances, you might have parents that are starting to age out, and there are needs that need to be met for that parent. I'm starting to realize that my father needs help. He needs help in doing, his checks, his checkbook. I'm long distance with him right now, but these things are starting to crop up where I'm going to have to start making decisions about maybe bringing him closer to where we live, doing research about home care facilities or extended care for him, or getting him moved up here closer to us so that we can look, better for, extra care and stuff like that. I know I'm kind of rambling, but I'm trying to focus on what his needs would be, you know. The same thing, you might be in a situation at your age where you have children still or grandchildren that you want to spend more time with. Maybe your children or grandchildren have special issues or needs that you need to focus on, that you have to be there for them. You know, and that's a part of life. That's something that you have to carve out time for. So you don't need the stress of trying to focus on them and their aftercare or their needs or their special needs or their activities, but you still have a full-time job. It's just, it's not done. So that's my seven reasons for early retirement. I'm very happy with the choices I made. I am getting my Social Security check now. I know it's a smaller amount because I took early retirement than full retirement, which is at age 67 for me, would have been for my age group. But I don't care. You know, I'm getting the money and I'm budgeting diligently, and I have lower stress. I'm focusing on my health. I'm focusing on my well-being, my mental health, my physical health. I'm focusing on my family. And that's what counts. Ultimately, it's my decision, it's my money, and it's my body. So these are the type of things I wanted you guys to start thinking about too. Okay. Anyway, if you like this, please thumbs up, and doing this. It's so funny. Thumbs up, please, and subscribe if you like these type of topics. And like I said, my topics are usually about healthcare, about healthy living, about you know, mental and mindfulness and mental well-being and mindfulness. Skincare, of course, all the time, as much as I can do. And then what else do I do? You know, cooking, a little bit of cooking. I'll probably get back into that too and show you guys some Instant Pot recipes that I've come across. And that's it. We'll just take it one week at a time and be together. That's what counts. Okay. I love you guys very much. Thank you again for stopping by. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.